Now I'm
All right,
recording.
I've been recording, so I'll use my footage for that. All right,
Okay.
come on, Wolf, hurry the hell up, Brody.
Oh, am I
Jesus
supposed
H
to do am I
Christ.
supposed to do the thing? Welcome to Infinite Nonsense, where we talk about nonsense infinitely. I'm joined here by George 2D and Rabbit Hat Plays. I'm
He's
Georged here
George.
by Join 2D and Rabbit Hat Plays.
You can't say that.
uh, how's everyone been? How's everyone been doing?
We're good. Pretty good.
George has been on a winning streak in Marvel Rivals. I know that.
Yeah, it's at least 2 wins in, something like
Two
that.
wins out of 20 games. It was pretty great.
3
Yeah.
wins out of 25 games. That's the little tidbit people leaving out.
Yeah, what's new? How you been, Rabbit?
Not real.
I've been good. Just working a lot on that year-long project. Oh,
Ooh.
How's that going,
15.
Rabbit?
that's going good. Earlier, I ended up recording another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games for it.
Nice.
Nice.
One of which
Nice.
I'm really wanting to play more of it. It's called The Textorcist.
Textorcist.
I feel like I've seen that. It's a typing game, right?
It's a bullet hell typing game, so you attack by actually typing the words that are on the screen that he's trying to state to beat the boss. While you're trying to type, you gotta dodge projectiles and such while you're exorcising the demons out of people. It is
You-
really cool.
You're not exercising, you're texercising the demons.
Well, the player is texercising for sure.
Yeah. Texercising.
Texturcizing.
Texercising.
Yeah, the first person, the tutorial enemy that you face off against is basically a thug with a knife, and he ends up
Thug.
being defeated with the Fist of the North Star. That's like, I've already defeated you, and they just start puffing up and then blow up.
Oh,
They
my
puff
own
up like
machine gun.
Mr. Fantastic?
Okay.
No, not like Mr. Fantastic. No,
Oh, that's
No,
unfortunate.
no, like,
it's
yeah,
more
he's right.
bloody
Like
and gory than Mr. Fantastic.
Multiverse of Madness when he get popped like a little zit
Huh.
by Wanda.
Wait, no, Mr. Fantastic got turned into spaghetti.
Yeah, and his head popped at the end.
Oh, did it? No, I don't
Yeah.
remember that part. I just
popped it
remember
like
the
a balloon.
spaghetti.
That
Oh
was
yeah,
kinda
the
messed
spaghetti's
up.
more prominent. It was pretty funny.
That was pretty
more-
brutal. That actually kinda
Yeah.
caught me off guard when I saw that. I was like, "Wow, they, huh."
Well, it's Sam Raimi, dude. He always does stuff like that.
Yep. Or Black Bolt.
Oh,
Man.
dude, that made me so mad. I'm a Black Bolt fan. That really pissed me off.
I can't wait for them to add him into the game.
It's
Oh,
just
that'd
his
be
ult.
crazy.
His ult
That
is
would be
him
nuts.
saying "I'm sorry," and then everyone like just gets wrecked.
His ult
Yeah.
is just saying stop.
Yeah. Or he goes, "Scoreboard," and he kills everyone.
His ult. You can't say that.
Uh, That's great. That's great. The
I
game's a
really
ton of
hope they
fun.
do add like some Inhumans to the game because I think the stories are. I mean, they're not that great, but there are some characters that are pretty cool. Black Bolt's one of them.
I mean,
Lockjaw,
they're
I feel like
adding
people would love.
freaking what's his name? The one I just sent everyone.
Pet
Pete the Pat. Oh my god, I can't remember his name.
Padgar.
Hasty Pot Pete.
Yeah, that guy. And Hitmonkey. They're adding some really obscure characters, so I'd be shocked if they didn't add any of the
Yeah.
Inhumans or whatever.
I could imagine when it comes to like Lockjaw from the Inhumans that he would be part of an alt with Crystal.
Yeah, like if Crystal was shown and then or Medusa was shown, um, they ult and whatever, and Lockjaw just comes in and like beats them up or bites them or something.
Yeah, or it's kind of like the little demon creature that shows up with magic.
Yeah.
I can't wait for them to make Juggernaut a support.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Have
It's
some
gonna be a
heals.
tank support.
Here's some tea. Oh man,
Deadpool's gonna be amazing when he jumps in.
what is he even gonna? He's probably gonna be. I mean, he's gonna be
Duelist.
DPS, right? He's
He's
gonna be
gonna be
duelist. There's
duelist.
no
There's
way
no
he could be.
other anything
He could
else.
be a tank, but he'll probably be duelist
If they
Yeah,
make him
he'll
like
be
anything
like
else but a
Wolverine.
DPS,
unless they
people are gonna
make
be
him a
pissed.
support, and the whole time you're playing him, he's like, I should have been a fucking duelist.
That'd be really funny. Yeah. Play on his ability to see the world, see the
Yeah.
real world.
Or he's like, or he's running around as a duelist, but he has like a very minor support strategist healing thing that he can give others. He's like, "Hey, look, guys, I am actually a strategist here."
He goes, fine, I'll heal myself.
Don't worry, I'll heal and kill everyone. I'm gonna go up to him like, "Hey, I want royalties. I fucking started that shit. Fuck you guys."
Started that shit.
Don't worry, I'll heal and kill everyone. Wolf.
Scoreboard, I want royalties. Trademarked.
Trademarked. I'll kill and heal everyone. Don't worry.
Uh,
I love saying that shit to Wolf when he's like DPSing and I'm healing. And I'm like, don't worry, Wolf. I'll heal and kill everyone.
he'll do it as I'm like fighting somebody and I get him down to one hit and then he kills them and he's like, don't worry, I'll do it.
Just makes it even funnier.
Meanwhile,
George the Steel
instead of
Killer.
healing me, he's killing.
Wolf dies after one stray shot, and I could have healed him. I just choose not to.
Oh man. Fun times. Well, I guess we'll jump into the topic. So this one is kind of with recent news of the new GPUs and everything.
Oh shit, let's go.
How do you all feel about NVIDIA's kind of direction and what AMD will likely do at some point of less raw performance and more AI enhanced stuff through like frame gen and DLSS and all of that stuff? I'm kind of curious of your guys' opinions on that, um, and whatnot.
Hmm. I
Uh,
I would say if it works, then fine. Because if the idea, because honestly, I think the AI situation is ultimately just a buzzword right now.
Oh yeah,
They're
yeah, yeah.
trying to use some level of interpolation to um, enhance the level of performance for the computer, but they need more raw power behind the graphics card to help deal with that effectively. Is my
Right, right, and
understanding.
like yeah, so, like, they're saying that the 5070 is gonna have the same performance as the 4090, but it only gets that performance through the use of frame gen and the, upscaling and all of that. So, I mean, I guess the way I think about it is a lot of people are complaining about the whole, like, "Oh, they're fake frames," you know? Which kind of, I guess, because they're taking the one frame and then, using AI, quote, AI, to make the other frames, and now they can do for every one frame that you do, 3 of those frames will be generated,
Okay.
and, that's kinda how they're doing it. Oh,
Oh
excuse me.
God, I
Um,
hate that argument. I really do.
I
what argument?
personally I personally, like, I don't mind it as long as, like, those frames are, like, if they're indistinguishable from, reality. Now, I wouldn't use it in competitive games, at least not at the state it's in, but for something like The Witcher or, like, Cyberpunk or these, like, really graphic heavy titles, if it
Yeah.
can reduce the power, required using that, like, processing, or the big word that Rabbit used that I can't think of right now, um,
Interpolation.
then yeah, that word, interpolation, then, it's just like, I don't see the big deal about it.
So, okay. So the argument that I said I did not like um was, oh, it's fake frames. It's like, okay, unless it's a live action film, all those frames are going to be fake regardless because they're made somewhere else. Someone else built it to showcase to you. So there is very little difference between the frames that are created on the in between from an interpretation from a machine learning and logic than there is in terms of um, the in between frames from a camera. The big difference between it is, oh no, the machine is doing it. We need to have every individual frame be created by an actual human. And you think you're doing that with flash animations? No. You say start here, go to the other end of the screen, and then every other frame in between just gets interpreted by the computer to be in the new place. That's not you doing it individually. We're already in that stage. We've been in that stage. YouTubers have been any kind of video editors have been doing that kind of stuff, but it just wasn't called AI created. And it's
Yeah.
like it's just a
It's
dumb
just
dumb argument.
and people are saying too that like the reason that Nvidia is going that way, and maybe AMD too. We still don't know anything about AMD's new GPUs, except that their FSR4 tech that we've kind of seen a glimpse of. They're calling it a research project. Looks
Mhm.
really freaking good compared to FSR3, and even comparable to DLSS. Um, but
Yeah.
um, I completely lost my train of thought. Uh, oh, anyway, I don't know what I was talking about. What was I talking about?
Well, okay, all right. I actually
I
had something to
Damn it,
bring up
Wolf.
more to counteract my point a little bit. So I will say the only reason why I would dislike any AI frame interpretation is, and it's one reason only, and that is you're taking someone else's artwork without their permission to train the AI. Now, if it's the game that the AI is learning off of, and this company has built the game and is building the the learning model off of the game itself and nothing but the game, then it doesn't hold any ill will from me if they want to
Yeah,
do that.
that's it. Well, here's the thing about it. From my understanding, is it's taking the way DLSS and FSR works is it's actually using because it's built into the game. So it's using the motion vectors from the game and the current still image to generate the three next images. So it's basically like guessing what the next three frames are going to be. And it's doing that for every frame. If you have it on like three times or four times, where for every one frame, there's four, whatnot, and all that.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not like they're taking it and then training an AI. Nothing's being trained to my knowledge. It's just kind of I don't know the exact tech of how it works, but it's taking the single frame and then using AI,
Well,
again, quote AI, to guess what the next three frames are going to be and then generate those frames using the motion vectors built into the game.
yeah, I could see how that might be an issue with PvP games. So Marvel Rivals might have an issue, Overwatch, Call of Duty, even Halo, so on and so forth. I could see there being some level of issue with that where you need keyframe perfect aiming and stuff for a lot of the
Yep.
professionals. But for a lot of
Mhm.
casuals, which is the vast majority of players out there, eh, I don't see it as big of a deal outside of they're saying it's AI, so raise your pitchforks and torches.
Yeah, and the whole frame gen thing's really cool, but I the thing that I like is I really like the concept of the upscaling and advancing AI upscaling so that I can take a game, have a GPU that's running a game at 720, 1080p, and having it, you know, upscaled to 1440p or 4K and having it look native. That is really cool to me, because
Yeah.
that I feel like that's gonna lower the requirements, the hardware requirements of GPUs, which will drop them in price, which will just make everything cool. I love the concept of using this technology to advance, gaming and make gaming more accessible to everybody else who might not be able to afford a $2,000 GPU They can get a cheaper one at 550 and still upscale to get that performance. That's
Right.
really cool to me. I love that. I think it's cool. I understand why people don't like it. And again, like I said, I wouldn't use it for a competitive game, like you said, COD, Rivals, Valorant, anything like that. But those games are optimized differently because most of the people who play like CS:GO or anything like that are going to be playing at like 1080p, 60 or higher frames because they want the frame rate as opposed to the image quality.
Right.
Yeah.
So the GPU requirements for those games aren't as high as something like Indiana Jones, where it requires ray tracing to even run, you know? So
Wait, serious? Oh, I can't stream the game then because OBS has
it,
issues with ray tracing in games.
Yeah.
Ah.
it's a well, the requirements for it, the minimum requirements is a GPU that can do ray tracing.
I mean
Yeah.
that's fine, but my point was more uh OBS if it's when I tried to do ray tracing with Control, OBS did not like me at
Oh,
all.
really?
Yeah,
So
it just lagged the hell out of the game. I'm playing the game and I'm seeing it on my computer. It's amazing. It's working perfect. Everyone on stream, anyone I was streaming to in Discord just could not do anything with the lag. It was so jumpy. It was crazy.
which encoder are you using? Because there's a new
I I
encoder, I
I
think.
I don't remember. I'll be right back real quick. Someone's knocking.
Okay.
I thought I heard it
Because I
not.
shut up. I think the issue with that is that people still use H.264, but I think the new, what is it, HVenc or EdgeVenc or whatever?
Well, H.265 is the HEVC, and NVENC is
Yeah.
NVIDIA's rendition of that. It's their proprietary rendition of that, which is really, really good. NVIDIA's
Yeah.
NVENC encode is really good.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
yeah, people use H.264 because it's more compatible. Like Twitch won't even allow you to use H.265.
yeah, that's the only thing is that Twitch is kind of behind in the encoder thing. YouTube actually supports H.265 and EdgeVenc or whatever,
Yep.
which I thought was really cool, but it's crazy to me
And
that Twitch
AV
doesn't really. Oh, and AV1. Yeah,
yep.
AV1's the other one. That's really,
AV1
really
is
good.
basically the open source HEVC.
Yeah.
Which is awesome because since it's open source, you don't have to pay. That's part of the reason that like Twitch hasn't done or moved the route of H.265 or HEVC because of the fact that there's royalties. You have to pay to use it.
Yeah.
But with AV1, it's open source. You don't have to pay to use that. So
Right.
it's really cool. And I know Twitch is leaning towards that. And I know that they've kind of talked about implementing AV1 encoding on streams, which would be incredible. Because at 8K, bit rate, you can have a 1440p stream look really good with AV1 or
Yeah.
H.265.
Yep.
So that'll be
Hi.
really cool.
Welcome
Hello.
back.
Hello, hello,
Uh,
hello.
Dad's been experimenting with beef jerky, and so he ended up sharing it with me.
Ooh, is it good?
Nice.
Yeah, oh no, it's really good.
Was it frame generated?
Yes, framed right inside of an air fryer.
AI generated.
Nice. That's the
I'll
future. What AI generated lunch do you want? You like the
take a
episode of
filet mignon.
Well,
the episode of
isn't that what
SpongeBob where it's
they
just a hologram?
wait?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they have in Star Trek? Is just AI generated food?
I think
I never
so.
watched Star Trek, but yeah, I would
Yeah, I
assume.
don't know much about Star Trek. I just know it
Oh,
exists.
really? Oh gosh, you guys gotta. Yeah, it's a good show. Good show.
I also know that people do the "May the Fourth be with you" and they do the Spock thing, and it makes people mad.
Makes me mad because my birthday is May 4th and everyone says that to me on my birthday and I fucking hate
Wow.
it.
Good to know. Note
Good
that
to know.
down.
Now we know what to do. Now
Birthday,
we know what to do.
May 4th.
Everyone, it's funny. I was never really into Star Wars when I was younger. So I've been more recently into it. But like when I was younger, everyone would tell me, May the 4th be with you. And I'm like, stop that. I don't watch Star Wars. Leave me alone. So,
No,
oh,
what
Star
you
Wars
should
is
do,
awesome.
what you should have done back then, if they would like, "May the Fourth be with you." I don't watch Star Trek.
you can't say that.
Uh,
I don't watch
That's awesome.
Stargate. Stop saying "May the Fourth be with you."
I don't watch Battlestar Galactica. Get away from me. piss off a lot of people.
It would. It really would.
May the fourth be with you. Isn't that like a star sign thing?
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry, I'm not a Pisces.
Oh, okay, my
I mean,
bad, my bad.
I actually am a Pisces, but
You're giving Virgo energy right now, Brody.
yeah. Well, you know what? Scoreboard. Anyway, um, speaking of like the whole like scaling and AI stuff, there's an app on Steam I've been playing around with, um, called Lossless Scaling, and same. It's basically the same thing as like DLSS and FSR, but can be used for any game. Because the thing with DLSS and FSR is the developers have to implement it into their game. If they don't, you can't use it. It has to be implemented into the game, as far as I know. So Lost to Scaling kind of does the same thing, and they just released their LSFG, which is the Lost to Scaling Frame Gen 3. They released it 2 days ago, and I've been playing around with it, and it's kind of crazy, actually. You can basically you lock your FPS at 60, do the frame gen. You can go up to times 20 frame gen, which is insane. So for every frame, it's generating 20. Uh, of course, you get a lot of artifacting at that point. But
Yeah.
times 3, times 4, you know, it's not that bad. And you lock it at 60 and you go times 2 even, and then it feels like you're playing at 120 and it's just generating that additional frame. Um, it's kind of insane. I was testing it a lot with Cyberpunk, and you can choose, and with the scaling, you can choose what you want to scale it to. So I can start with like, even though my monitor is at 1440p, I can scale the game specifically down to like 720 or 1080, and then have it upscaled, and it looks pretty freaking good. Like, if I wasn't a gamer and I wasn't like looking for specific things, I could give this to, like, my dad and be like, "Hey, just turn this on." And he'd be like, "Wow, this looks incredible," you know? So, I think if technology improves and everything, I really think it's not even gonna be an issue, and it's not even gonna be an argument, and it may even get to the point where you could use it in competitive titles because it won't be that bad. You won't have that delay, because the frame gen does add delay. It adds like a 10, 15 millisecond delay on your input, just
Ooh.
because it has to use that to, generate the frames. It does have that, the overhead, which is why, like Rabbit was saying, not very good for competitive games where you need that split second down to the millisecond click in response time there. But
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where it goes when like The Witcher 4 comes out and how good it gets at that point. Um, Whilst the scaling isn't nearly as good as FSR or DLSS, and DLSS 4 is insane. Like that looks really, really good. Um, and it's just going to improve. That's the thing, is it's just gonna get better. Um, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the future of all of it and what it's gonna do and how it's gonna change gaming, and eventually AI will just make video games.
AI generated video games.
I'm pretty sure that you're right. The AI generated version of video games is definitely going to be the next step now that we got VR as our big thing that's been started from the 80s moving on to now. Because, like, if I remember correctly, there was that Nintendo virtual reality headset that was like all red and black on the inside. Wasn't that great, but it was
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah.
the first steps of virtual reality. And now we basically have that in everyone's house almost.
Yeah, we do. Weird how
That
that
sorry.
works.
I just got reminded of something. I was looking on NVIDIA's site, and another thing that NVIDIA is doing that I think is really cool. I've been an AMD fanboy for a long time, but AMD has given up trying to compete. They're now just making mid-range cards. They're not even trying to compete with NVIDIA in the high-end tier anymore. They've given up
It's
on that.
just Intel that they're fighting.
Yeah. So, which is fine. That's perfectly fine as long as the cards are priced right. Like,
Hmm.
that's fine. Um, but they're just nowhere near NVIDIA on the, again, quote, AI stuff. But they've added a I'm trying to find more information on exactly what it is, but it's a type of neural rendering that requires less VRAM. So it makes use of the VRAM more efficiently. And they're also doing it with like their ACE program, which is using basically it's taking NPCs from games and it can deep fake them as far as what I can tell here. Now it's not being used in games right now, I don't think, but it can be. Right now it's being used to just create like AI assistants and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
it's just a really cool thing. And I'm waiting for the day that we have AI NPCs in video games that do different things, that react differently, that not like pre-recorded stuff. It's all just, insane and really feels immersive. That's gonna be really cool. And I think NVIDIA is gonna be the one to kind of push that a bit.
I agree that it'll be really cool. However, there's going to be a flip side to it as well, like most things have. Just to keep things in perspective, the sociability between people, especially people that love playing video games, is going to go down even further because instead of repeated text that they're having to deal with that they can just kind of scroll past every time, if the NPCs actually interact with you, you're just interacting with your computer and nothing else. It is now your life.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that's going to be everyone, but there's going to
That's
be
true.
people that get really immersed to that extent.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. Especially if you have like games in like fantasy settings or even some NSFW stuff that could happen with all of that.
All right.
Um,
Yes.
Better
but
bring that up.
but there that they'll I think that'll definitely have an effect on like you said, sociability and how people interact with other humans. Um, but I think it'll also be you have to find the line, right? Of like if I was to play Skyrim and actually the NPCs in there would have different reactions. Because right now you go in there, you play Skyrim, you play all the way through, you kill Alduin, spoiler. You've had fucking
You can't
what
say that.
20 you've had freaking what 20 years and freaking 8 renditions of the game to play, like you kill Alduin and then you get back and the guards all like, "Let me guess, somebody stole your sweet roll." And it's like, "Bitch, I am the savior." You know what I mean? It's just like they don't interact the way that you would expect them to. But if you could have some type of AI that would remember your actions and generate responses from NPCs based on your actions, I think that would be incredible. That would be
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
cool.
that would
That
be
would be awesome.
insane.
You know, like walk into town after you defeat Alduin and, people start like kneeling or they start like coming up to you and, stuff like that just to make you feel like you actually did something.
Now you could program
It'd be
that
cool.
in. That doesn't necessarily mean AI.
No, yeah, you can absolutely program that in, but, we're talking about Bethesda here, so, you know,
True.
anything to
True.
make it easier on them. I think it's all gonna be cool. I'm excited for the future of this whole AI thing, honestly. And again, I say AI in quotes because I don't think we're actually at the point where we have true artificial intelligence. It's all just
Agreed.
machine learning and LLMs
It's VI.
and
It's
stuff like that.
VI, not AI. It's
Yeah.
virtual intelligence. And
Yeah,
even
yeah,
that's a stretch for
You're
like what you're
virtually
talking about.
intelligent.
Thank you.
yeah.
But
Scoreboard.
it, even what we're talking about with like the keyframe interpolations and stuff, that I don't even know if I could even consider that virtual intelligence either. I feel like I said at the beginning, AI is just a buzzword that organizations love to just use. It's not real AI. And then the things that they have them being used for is like, what? That how does that indicate intelligence at all? Sure, it's artificially created, but I don't. So it's probably AC, But then again, we got a lot of ACs already. There's air conditioning, armor class, and so on and so forth.
Armored Core.
Armored
Great
core.
game, by the way.
So, in terms of
Yeah.
marketing, that's probably why they do that. But that's why I say it's a buzzword. And then anytime it gets used, again, the pitchforks and the torches have to be pulled out, especially after the start of the machine learning phase of AI was just stealing from people without their permission.
Oh yeah.
And now
I'm
websites are having little checkboxes going, hey, do you want us to be able to take your stuff?
uh-oh.
Great
Uh-oh,
George,
my
you
conversation,
bad.
there?
George.
My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
There we go. Okay, that should be fixed now. Sorry about that.
Oh
Nope,
no, you're
not
good.
fixed.
It's not fixed?
Yeah,
Well, now it is.
Oh, okay.
yeah, now it is. I'm looking
My
at
fault.
sorry, I keep going back to like the Nvidia thing and looking at the GPUs and stuff. And it's because like I'm looking at because it said it had the 5070 has the same performance as the 4090, and I'm looking at like the specifics, and it's like the RTX 5070 has 988 AI tops. The 4090 has 1300 AI tops. So hardware, and it has double the 4090 has double the VRAM, 24 gigs of GDDR6X, and the 5070 has 12 gigabytes of GDDR7. So on a hardware level, they aren't the same, but I'm really curious to see the benchmarks and how close they will be to performance with all the DLSS on, with the frame gen on, and with all of that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just really curious to see the side by side performance. I think it's one of those things people are gonna, pitchforks up. They're gonna fight about it, and then after
5
a
years
while,
later, it'll be fine.
yeah, yeah, maybe DLSS 5 or shoot DLSS 4 might even get upgraded enough that it's good enough. They're not even gonna be, you're not even gonna notice a difference. And not to mention the RTX 5090 is like half the size of the 4090. Like that's insane. It requires less power. It's like half the size. It's on the small form factor list because it's only 304 millimeters long. So it's tiny compared to the 4090, which was like a what, three and a half, almost four slot card. It's
Mhm.
just crazy the size differences, which I think is gonna play a big role too. I don't know. I, for one, am
Okay.
excited for it. I know people aren't, but I'm excited for it. I think it's awesome. I think it's sick. And I think people are concerned that one argument I've heard people talk about is that developers are going to use it as an excuse to not optimize their games the way they should,
It's
is what I've heard.
possible, but then again, developers already use whatever excuse book they want to not optimize their games as is. Who cares if they're going to
Yeah.
have another reason? It's still not going to be optimized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That is true. I think it's going to be great. I'm excited for it. I think people need to relax, just take a step back and breathe. See how it looks, see what it does, be excited for technology, let it advance, let things go the way that they need to go. And if you don't want like all that AI stuff, I mean, the 40 series cards are still there. They're still powerhouses of cards, you
Yeah.
know? Even some people are still running the 30 series,
Yeah.
and
I
those
was
are
about to
still
say,
kind of beefy, you know?
I'm
Oh
running a
yeah.
3070 and it's still running hard, you know?
I've got a
Same.
I've got a I've got a 6900 XT AMD
Oh,
card, which was top of the line like two generations ago. And it's just like, that thing's still kicking. That thing is still that thing's still a beast,
yeah.
you know? The software kinda sucks, and I've been having a lot of issues with the AMD software and driver timeouts and things, but I think that had to
Huh.
do with just their way their
You
AMD Relive thing works.
you know you bring up a good point. You bring up a very good point here.
Do I?
Yeah.
What's that?
Technology's plateaued.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, everything we're still well, George and I are still using the
30
Nvidia
series.
30 series, yeah. And it's just like they're working great even now, who cares about the 40 series or the 50 series when if it
Yep.
can still run the game? Like, but when we were like going from the 10 series to the 20 series to the 30 series, it was a real big difference in terms of what games could actually be played.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I think Nvidia kind of knows that, because I'm pretty sure that the DLSS 4 is only available on the 50 series cards. So they're not gonna put that on the older GPUs like they've done with DLSS, with the previous versions of it.
Right.
So I think they kind of understand that and they know that, and they're trying to push people to buy these cards. Which I mean, 550 for an Nvidia card is still a really good price
Especially
for a
for like
brand new one.
well, yeah, that and the power that comes with it, because this is as good as a 4090. Like that is like
Yeah.
a I can
Again,
already tell. I can already predict though it's going to be sold out as soon as it releases, and
asterisk.
people are going to
Oh, of
scalp it.
course.
You know,
It's no asterisk. It's with AI, with the DLSS 4 enhancements, and with all of that. It doesn't have the same raw power as a
So then it's
4090.
worse than a
yeah,
4090. Why would you get the 50 series then?
Exactly.
yeah,
And that's why people are going to keep the 40 series. That's why I'm like, well, if you still have a 40 series, you don't really have any reason to upgrade
right.
unless, you just want the latest and greatest.
Or you
40
have
series
to
cards are
comply
great.
with. Another reason is you got to comply with electricity demands.
That too. These cards do require less power, is my understanding, which is really good.
Hmm.
Requiring less power is really good. I think is awesome. I have always told myself, and I've always told everybody that I will never buy an Nvidia card. I will always buy an AMD card. But I don't know anything
Ah,
about the 9070. I don't know anything. Also, I think that naming scheme is really stupid. I don't know why AMD changed it to the 9070. I know it's to confuse buyers, but they've completely crapped themselves out of, next generations. Because I mean, what are they gonna do, the 10,070? Like, I don't naming scheme was kinda
10,000.
I
naming
understand.
scheme was really bad. That was a bad decision. But I don't know anything about the 9070. I don't know what kind of, I know they're trying to set it in between performance-wise, in between, like, the 4080 and 4070 Ti, I think is kind of the performance they're going for. Um, but they haven't told us anything. They basically said, "Hey, we have new cards," and then showed no information. So we know nothing. We don't know any hardware specs except that it requires a massive power connector. Um, the same one that, was burning GPUs from the previous generation.
Oh no.
Uh, so I don't know about that. And like,
Burn, baby, burn.
yeah, these 50 series cards have like a single small power connector that's even like angled out the front. I don't know if you saw that, but it
Nope.
doesn't wrap around like the bottom or the top anymore. It's angled into the card at the front of the card.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So I mean, that's kind of cool. It'll help with make the PC look a bit cleaner. But
Speaking of clean PCs, did y'all see the stuff that they were showcasing at CES? Um,
I've been watching nothing but CES content.
yeah, dude. One thing that Christy sent me was actually really fucking cool. It was like completely wireless. Like, well, there were wires, right? But like, it was how did
You're
I,
talking about
how
the
did they
the
show?
the motherboard with the connectors in the back?
Yes, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Where like there's no
Yep.
wires in the front at all. It's all in the back, and like it looks like completely clean from looking in the front.
That was started some company. I can't remember who it was. I think it
Yeah,
was
it's
it was
another
like Project
company.
Black
Yeah,
or something like that. Started that like 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 years ago, and it hasn't really kicked off until recently,
like
which I
I'm
think
not
is really cool.
no, yeah, I agree. I'm not a computer engineer and or understandings of like the intricacies of why we haven't had that yet, but I just think that was actually something really really cool to see kind of go mainstream is where all the connectors and wires and shit are in the back. And so the only wires you really see are the GPU, right? And also maybe the AIO if you're running an AIO. But like everything else, all the like little headers and chassis fans and all those other little shit at the bottom of the motherboard, that's completely gone. I just thought it looked
Yep.
really really sick.
Yeah, this was a year ago. Asus is going strong with the BTF cableless products.
There you go.
So even the GPUs, it's like some of the GPUs have their PCI slot, but then they have another power connector that supplies power from the motherboard.
Oh, that's cool.
So you won't even have to plug in the GPU. So you'll just plug in all from the power supply, all the plugs go into the back of the motherboard and it's cable. That's really cool.
It's gonna make PC building so easy, dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean PC build in my opinion, PC build Project Stealth is what it was.
Oh,
2022
okay.
is when this article was written. But it it doesn't I mean PC building itself is already not I don't think it's super hard. It just can be really anxiety inducing when you put the CPU in, you know? Don't want to bend those pins. Um but having everything in the back will make cable management so much easier.
Yeah,
And
100%.
getting to the cables with those stupid front panel connectors will be easier. I hate those damn things. But that's yeah. I don't know. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the future of GPUs. I'm excited for the future of PC gaming. I'm excited for the prices to go down, even if it's AI upscaled. Like I don't get it. Maybe I'm just like too easy to please and whatnot.
Mm,
But
I told you why I think it's the case. It's the whole morality of it all, and that's
yeah,
what causes people to get all antsy about it. And it's like if the morality is fine with how they're using it, like I said, if it's just gonna be interpolating whatever is on screen, so that means whatever the quote unquote AI is doing, I think it's fine, and I'm excited for that too. Um, but aside from that, I don't care.
yeah,
I honestly, it's like this is gonna happen whether you're happy about it or not. Now
yeah,
we can raise our pitchforks and torches and get enough people to take it down, like we did in Helldivers 2, or uh, what most likely is going to happen. And I can eat my words here. I don't care, it's just going to happen, and you can live with it or just do what a lot of older generations did with new technology. I'm not touching that. I ain't gonna learn that. Why
yeah,
should I?
Shout out to Grandpa Rabbit.
yeah. Grandpa Rabbit. Yeah. I
uh,
all
the
I know
amount
is
of
that
people amount of people that's just like, cell phone, I don't want to learn a smartphone.
oh
Oh,
man,
what's this? A computer? Nah, I used a book and pen. I ain't gonna need to know how to type. And so
yeah.
then they're just there
Here's
typing with one finger at a time. It's like,
Here's the thing with
okay.
that. Technology is going to advance with you or without you.
Yeah.
You can advance with technology or you get left behind. That's
Yep.
kind of my like my whole spiel about it because like the technology is not going to stop advancing because you don't want to learn how to use a cell phone, you know? And then
Hmm.
what's funny is people will say that they're like, "Man, I don't want to learn how to use a cell phone." But then they complain about the old ways of doing things. And
Yeah.
so it's like, do you want to make it more convenient for yourself or like what I don't know. I don't know, but anyway, all I know is that when it comes to, like, the GPU stuff, I am probably gonna be wind up getting a 5080. Um, I think that's what I'm gonna wind up getting. I know George is eyeballing the 5090, you know, because 'cause he's got that doctor money.
Oh my
So
god, shut the fuck jackass. Actually, I might get the 5070 just because I have a 3070. Um and I was actually gonna do like a whole upgrade of my PC this year. New motherboard, new processor, new RAM. Basically do like a complete overhaul of my build. And then
I've
just yeah. So I
yeah,
haven't
I've
done
thought
that in like
about
years.
yeah, I mean, you still got 3070. I mean,
And
what's
I'm
your
running
CPU?
a 9700K Intel from like
Gosh, I don't know
5 years
anything
ago.
about Intel CPUs.
Well,
That
it's
is
a
the one
6-year-old processor, so it's
oh,
pretty
wow.
old, but
Yeah,
it's still
that's
running
crazy.
pretty good.
That's crazy. If you got a like a living room TV, you should just download like a Bazite OS or Steam OS on it. If you build a whole new computer, and then you could just have a living room basically console.
Fucking playing
That's what I
4K.
That's what I
for
plan on
8K.
doing. I mean, whenever I rebuild my PC at some point, I'm just gonna keep the one that I have, and then I'm just gonna download like Bazite OS or Steam OS, so one of those gaming home theater centered, um, operating systems on it, and then I'm just gonna have like a console gaming thing there. It'll be a more powerful Xbox. But I was looking at the
Xbox.
5070, and I was kind of concerned about the amount of VRAM it had because it only has 12 gigabytes. But like I said, they're adding like a neural thing, which makes VRAM more efficient. So you don't require as much of it as you normally would, which is another reason I'm kind of, I don't know if I'm going to get the 5080 if I want to spend that kind of money or if I just want to get the 5070. Because I mean,
Neural system?
yeah, they're adding like some kind of like
AI.
neural. Hold on, let's see if I can find information on it.
They're adding a nervous system to your computers. They're becoming more
True
organic.
to life
They're going to be
graphics.
destroying us
Eh,
all soon. Raise your
they will.
pitchforks and
They
torches,
will.
everyone.
Okay, Grandpa, time for your
Now
medicine.
he really is Grandpa Rabbit.
Yeah, come on, Grandpa. It's time for your medicine. Come on, sit down.
Ragged by
Um,
the
More efficient VRAM. I want to look this up because I want to see. The NVIDIA GeForce of this year is designed to be more efficient in terms of VRAM usage. Introduction of FP4, a low quantization method that reduces model sizes and VRAM requirements. Um, Compared to FP16, the default method, FP4 uses less than half the memory, allowing models like Black Forest Labs Flux.1 to run on more GeForce RTX GPUs locally. Okay, that sounds like an AI thing. But the premise is that it requires less VRAM because of this new thing that they're adding in. Oh, here we go. NVIDIA has introduced neural textures compression (NTC), a technology that could reduce VRAM usage by up to 40% and have the game file size. Interesting.
Interesting.
Putting all RTX.
intriguing.
Huh.
Huh.
It will require changes to every. It will require changes to every art asset in the game and will only work out with NVIDIA GPUs. I'm so God, I want AMD to step up. I want AMD to step up. I want Intel to step up because I don't like the concept of NVIDIA having a monopoly on this this tech. You know, but that's crazy. I might just wind up getting the 5070. If this is that good, I don't think I'll
Mm-hmm.
need the 5080. Part of me wants to get the 5080 because I stream on it and stuff like that. But if the 5070 performs like my 6900 XT, which I would think it would, considering it's 2 generations older or
Mm-hmm.
newer. I don't
All
know.
right, folks. So we got a disclaimer to give to you all. Wolf has been sponsored this entire time by NVIDIA.
Yeah, not sponsored. But
Brothers like
NVIDIA,
talking down
listen,
on our sponsor.
listen,
This
NVIDIA,
podcast is brought to you by
if you want to
NVIDIA.
send me a card, NVIDIA, if you want to send me a card, by all means, I will not complain. I will be like, hey,
He'll
yo,
complain.
I
He'll
won't
complain.
complain. I
He'll
won't
find a way to
complain.
complain.
I won't complain on camera.
Yeah, on camera. Right.
That's funny. Yeah, I won't complain on camera.
Uh,
It's
I
oh
funny.
won't
man.
complain willingly on camera.
Yep, on camera. Nope, not on camera. I don't know. I
Just
might
shows
get the
him.
5070.
Just shows Wolf receiving a big old check from Nvidia. I'm not gonna complain on camera. Don't worry.
Don't worry about it.
Hey, I just got an email from NVIDIA. Hold on, what is this?
This video
Everything
is
I
brought to you
said,
by
taking it back.
AMD.
Nvidia is the most amazing. Completely flip flops his take on it.
Oh man,
All right.
I think it would be fun to make a video about if I do wind up getting it, and be all like, the title of the video would just be "I lied," dot dot dot, and it would just be me talking about AMD and NVIDIA and how I said I would never buy an NVIDIA card, and I'd be like, I lied.
I would
They're just they're
never.
just
Ooh.
they're just so good for content creation. I think content creators just NVIDIA is just so much superior in terms of just content creation. Their encoder's really good. Twitch is doing stuff that's only with NVIDIA. That's just it sucks, but that's just the way it is. It's just the
Yeah.
way it is.
Yeah.
We should make our own graphics card. You know,
Yep,
With
we're gonna make our
blackjack.
own. We're gonna make our
hookers.
own. We're gonna make our own YouTube and our own GPU.
Waiting for Wolf to say, "You can't say that."
You can't say that.
George is dying.
What do you call me, Wolf? Whenever I'm like laughing hysterically, a window wiper.
Windex, sound like a Windex bottle sometimes. He just like squeaks sometimes, occasionally. Occasionally gets that squeak in. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Fuck you.
I remember one
Freaking
time he said that,
jackass.
and I was like, "Geez, George, I know you said you were trying to get a second job. I didn't know it was a window cleaner."
Oh my god, that's freaking funny.
No, but I'm
Oh
curious
man.
to people who watch this, like I want to know your opinions. I want to know how you all feel about why you don't care much for FrameGen, why you're worried about it, or anything like that. Because I really want to know people's opinions on it, other
What's
than
the
the stuff
problem
I
with
see
the
on Twitter.
advancement of technology?
That too.
Starlink. No, I'm just kidding.
I
Starlink.
mean,
I listen. We all have opinions on Elon. I think Starlink is an incredible innovation in internet.
Agreed.
I think it is great. I think it is awesome. Wish it wasn't owned and made by, Elon, but that's beside the point. Starlink is great. My parents have Starlink and they live in the middle of nowhere and they get fantastic internet service. I personally think internet should be free. I don't think you should have to pay for bare minimum internet anywhere. Because it's
probably
basically
not.
a necessity at this point in time. But,
Yeah.
that's my opinion. But that's a whole nother video.
I think they should keep charging and charge people more for it.
Yeah, well, that's the big pharma talking in you.
It's like capitalist big pharma talking in you, Brody.
Oh, man.
It is what it
Oh, man.
is.
If I really
It
did work for
is
big
what it
pharma,
is.
man, I'd be making way more than I'm making now. Damn
I
it.
know.
I should have sold out. God damn it.
I should have sold out.
I could be living in the mansion by this point.
Man, I'd be doing this podcast from the comfort of my yacht, Brody. What the heck, bro?
I would have
Comfort
been
of your
dragging everyone that's
Monday
in this
yacht.
podcast to my place. Jeez.
Exactly. I'd fly you guys out first class on my private jet.
Yeah. The Monday private jet, because you got one for each day of the week.
Yeah, exactly. The
yeah.
Monday one.
That's another topic I think we should discuss at another point in time. I've got so many topics for this thing kind of now in my head. I actually should note them down so I don't forget them.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
it's a
forget
good
'em.
idea. But who's going to be winning this time?
Oh man. Who won last? Well, not last time, but the time
I feel like
before.
Rabbit should win. Talked a
Why?
lot. That's one.
You
Yeah,
talked
George
a lot
didn't
in
really
the second
say
half.
much. I don't know.
Yeah, but you were in the first half. You were strong.
I mean, that's
second
true.
half,
I
too.
was pretty strong
Who-
in the first half. Not the
Who
second
hosted
Yeah.
before some?
I think it was it me, Rabbit? I think it was, right?
I don't recall. I'd have to open up my list
I-
here.
I could
One
be
second.
remembering from the video that from the one of the episodes I edited, so I could be completely wrong.
It was George.
I
It
figured.
was George. Gotcha.
I can
Cool.
tell
Guess
because
what?
of the background I chose.
Yep.
Well, guess what?
What's up?
George, you're hosting again. George.
Oh, cool.
won.
Woo!
All right, this is my announcement of retiring from this podcast. Wolf will officially take my place.
It's the
He's taking my
streaming
place.
retirement thing all over again.
The bite of 87. Oh, okay. I'll have a topic. Don't worry. I don't know. I just
Alright.
didn't feel like I had a lot of information to talk about that stuff because I didn't really look into it much besides me and you, Wolf, talking about it.
It's really
I
cool.
guess-
I would definitely recommend anybody look into it and watch videos on it. Watch different videos on it. Get different people's views and opinions on it. It's just I don't think it's that bad. I understand why people don't like it, but if you watch, I think Linus Tech Tip said it the best where his job is to pinpoint those things and to notice the artifacts and to notice the things wrong with it. and other reviewers will know what to look for. He knows what to look for, but the average gamer, somebody who just wants a GPU and wants the game at high refresh rates and the game to look good, they're not gonna notice. They're not gonna notice,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah.
And if
Speaking
it's
as one
that
of those
good,
casual gamers.
yeah, if it's that good, then I don't see a problem with it. I know the latency thing can be kind of an issue, but again, I wouldn't use it for competitive games. I'm talking like single player or even like multiplayer, like multiplayer co-op games, but I would not use it for COD. Maybe at some point it can get to the point where it
Oh
could be used
God.
for COD, but just games that are designed to look really pretty. Indiana Jones,
Imagine.
The Witcher, stuff
Bug
like that.
snacks.
Imagine. Not
Astrobot.
Lethal Company, but I was Lethal
Okay.
Company's up there, but content warning, just upscaled.
Oh man, yeah.
Bro, the monsters in like 8K.
Infinite
Jesus Christ.
nonsense topics. Okay, let's see.
Well, I've lost everyone. It is such a great time that technology is going to be advancing. Well, no, I won, right?
I'm not even real. I'm AI.
I'm AI.
I
Are
was
you
I am
created
IA.
just for the purpose of entertainment and saying scoreboard and catchphrases
Yes.
and to
We
beat
ban
George
Wolf.
Wait, who won
and to
again?
be banned. George won.
You're
George won.
banned.
Yeah, I did. Okay, I was right. I lost because I am not even real. And with that, thank you for being there. So yeah,
What?
that didn't
What?
work out as well as I was thinking it was going to work out.
Whoa! What just happened?
I was like, wait a minute. I was
There was a
watching
glitch in the
something and it's just
system. Glitch in the.
listen the Matrix. God damn it, Rabbit.
The rabbit's AI glitched. We'll have to take him down and fix him.
Yo, his 50 series could crash or something. There you go. Oh, Rabbit died.
Rabbit, Rabbit, are you still there?
Rabbit, Rabbit, Rabbit.
Rabbit was turning the Lucky Rabbit's feet.
Yo, I'm actually excited
What are you
because
excited for?
this is gonna be a good year.
Yo, why does Rabbit's OBS look like that?
Like what?
It's got like check boxes. Huh. This looks way different than mine.
You mean check boxes?
He has check boxes. Look at the thing.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, you can say that's a setting in OBS.
Is
What are you
it?
talking about? Yeah. Makes it easier
Oh,
turning off and on sources and shit. Stuff
I
like
just
that.
have it with. I just have the little eyeball. Welcome back.
Report Rabbit. Beat up Rabbit.
Report
Come
it.
on, Wolf. Let's beat him up.
Beat him up. We can't beat him up. He's AI.
I am
There you
a
go.
digital assistant.
Throw a digital punch.
Falcon
Yeah.
punch.
Scoreboard.
And winner speech, George.
Yeah. Wolf really
Great.
likes Nvidia and he really likes Intel. He loves Nintendo, by the way. That's my winning
Intel,
speech.
actually, their B series cards are very intriguing.
I'm talking about processors, but yeah, okay.
Well, I don't care about their CPUs. Intel CPUs suck. AMD CPUs are still like the superior CPU, and most
Yeah,
people
they
won't
are.
argue that. But Intel's GPUs are very intriguing. They are great for like budget builds because they're. I mean, it's a $250 card that can play 1440p games. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of nuts. Anyway, before we get on a whole nother topic and talk for another 2 hours.
Take us away, Wolf.
Oh, I'm supposed to do it? Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's gonna do it for this one. George is gonna be hosting the next one. He's the greatest host ever, so that's why he has won. Um, and all of that. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. And I guess I'll end with my outro. So yeah, as always, I hope to see you all. We all hope to see you all in this one and the next one. Later.
Bye, everybody.
Have fun.
No loser speech for Rabbit.
I loser speech already.